happening, everybody? My name is Sonja Marie with Word Life Astrology here on this beautiful, beautiful God-given morning, Monday, April 29th, 2024. Here to give you some astrological information for the week, as well as some spiritual understanding. But before I do that, the reason why I'm smiling so hard is that I have two incredible announcements that I'd love to give you. You ready? I don't know if you know your girl that well, but I am an artist. I am a Renaissance woman of sorts, an astrologer, a writer, a poet, a performer, an actor, all kind of things, in which I'm combining all of my talents, some of them, most of them, into a show called Free Bricks, which will go up on Saturday, June 8th at 3 p.m. Please look for more details. Tickets will go on sale very, very soon. And if you're in the Los Angeles area, I would love for you to come. Free Bricks is about what would happen if Black women decided to leave the planet. A very interesting question, and in my own way and in sketch, as they say, which means slowly but surely I'm developing this show. So at this moment, it's about 30 minutes long, and it will increase with every incarnation. So hopefully you will catch each incarnation every time I announce when I'm performing, okay? But right now, save the date if you're available on Saturday, June 8th, again, 2024 at 3 p.m. Hope to see you. Second announcement is, have you ever really wanted to learn how to read astrological natal charts? Well, I'm offering a crash course. And when I say it's a crash course, it's a quick crash course. Honestly, it's really difficult to teach astrology in 4 weeks. That's how I'm offering it. 4 Zoom classes in June, starting June 4th. Please sign up at my website at wordlifeastrology.com. Go to the Word Life Village page, okay? And the flyer will be there. All the information is in the description box below. Come and join us. Space is limited. Again, it's 4 weeks and it's a 2-hour class each week. And I'd love for you to join us. It's really quick. Like I said, so you got to be prepared to put on your thinking caps and kind of go because we're going to set it off. I'd love to leave you with some information. So when I give these weekly rundowns, you know what a sister's talking about. You know what I mean? Go on to the website again, wordlifeastrology.com, and sign up. Space is limited. See you soon, okay? Let's get down to the week. This week is very interesting in that there's some crazy switch ups. Now, before I go into the week, I want to do my best to explain. I tried to on Instagram. Don't know if I was successful. Maybe 1 or 2 people picked it up. But in teaching astrology, I try to teach it in an intuitive way. That's why my crash course is called Intro to Intuitive Astrology Crash Course. Don't miss that, okay? The bottom line is this, though. The intuitive part of astrology, in my opinion, oftentimes supersedes the facts. And I present here on my weekly rundowns the facts more than the intuitive side at times. But here's the deal. Intuitively speaking, God, spirit, energy has all collaborated in a way in which we as human beings, even the animal kingdom, and all thing that's living in this particular universe can follow, again, intuitively as a flow. So when I present these aspects like Jupiter is trining Uranus or Mercury is conjuncting the moon or whatever the case may be, these are little aspects and connective tissues. That's a great analogy. Connective tissues in which is allowing us to see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is our journey in life, our journey through this universe, okay? So I'm going to reference this particular connection of sorts throughout this particular rundown so you can see how awesome astrology really is. It's not about predicting what's going to happen. It's about reading the energy flow of what is happening so you can appreciate the good and the bad, the up and the down, the destructive and the creative to make your life that much better. That's just it. We have to go with the flow of it all, and we are not in control, you dig? So with that being said, let's start off on Monday, which is today. The moon is in Capricorn. Personally, I've said this a couple of times. I love when the moon is in Capricorn because it allows us to check off the to-do list. When the moon is in Capricorn, whether you like it or not, the emotional feeling is to get things done, to climb up the ladder, to be ambitious in some kind of way and be structured, be organized, okay? Pragmatic about your decisions and your choices and the things you execute throughout the day when the moon is in Capricorn. I love the moon in Capricorn. I feel serious and I feel like an adult. So today, Venus goes in Taurus at 7:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love when Venus goes into Taurus, but if you know anything about astrology, Venus was in Aries for a good amount of time. Venus and every planet goes in and out of signs in order. So if Aries is first, Taurus is second. It's next to that. So Venus going out of Aries, here's what I'm trying to teach you intuitively. Venus going out of Aries when desire and passion and love and worth and beauty was fast and quick and self-motivating. Now it's going into Taurus, which means let's take all the things that we desired while it was in Aries and while we initiated, and now let's manifest it. Love when Venus goes into Taurus. Why? Because Venus, again, is about love and desire and passion. And Taurus is, let's take our time to do this thing, to manifest all that we need. After you kicked it off and you started it when it was in Aries, let's manifest it now. Let's bring in all the money. Let's bring in all the possessions. Let's bring in all the resources. Let's bring in the care. Let's bring in the devotion, the steady, pragmatic steps along with that moon in Capricorn, Al. Let's bring it in to show yourself, more importantly, that what is worth having is worth waiting for, working at it, and being diligent about it. This is Venus in Taurus, y'all. Let's go. Again, with the moon being in Capricorn, it's going to square Mercury in Aries. The moon squaring Mercury is a little gnarly, right? So hold your hat, because this emotional ability and this expression of, again, staying serious and pragmatic in Capricorn, trying to get things done, is kind of going against and a challenge of the mind and the communication that's happening around you, right? Because it's in Aries and it wants to move fast. Think of it like this. The moon in Capricorn is like the grandpa that says, whoopsh, whoopsh, cracking the whip. We got things to do. And Mercury in Aries is like, I don't want to do that. I want to go play. It's the baby. I don't want to do that. I want to pop off and say some things that's a little, rude, or it's my opinion. It's what I need to say. That kind of feeling, right? Mercury in Aries, being the baby, being quick-like, allows us to think fast without the consequences. Think quickly without being told what to do and doing it because we want to do it to self-satisfy. Whereas the moon in Capricorn goes against that and say you have to be responsible emotionally for everybody in what it is that you say. That's the conundrum. You understand that? So be careful while you're doing your best to get things done and you popping off at the mouth like a little brat. It's counterproductive. Just watch yourself. Also, with that moon in Capricorn, it wants to trine Uranus because it's in Taurus. So on some level today, we are getting used to these original changes and this feeling of independence that's coming over us. That moon in Capricorn, again, being diligent and pragmatic and serious about climbing the mountain and getting some things done, checking off the to-do list, says, I'm going to do these things. these new things, these new individual things, these things I haven't done before. Wow, I haven't had this on my particular to-do list, but I'm going to do it because I know it's going to make me better. I know it's going to make me slightly rebellious, but more than anything, an individual, an independent to get what I need to get done in my life. I don't need people's approval or their validation. I just need it to get done to show what it's worth. To me, first and foremost, and everybody else will be bystanders to my success. On Tuesday, the moon stays in Capricorn. Yes, it does, but it will go into Aquarius at 11:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? Also, Mars, which was in Pisces, is now going to go into Aries at 11:33, all the way until June 9th of this particular year. So we have now until June 9th to feel this vibration of this Mars going into Aries. Again, what's that feel like? And again, intuitively, what's the setup? Let's go back. With Mars being in Pisces, it was about doing things and being motivated by things, executing things from an intuitive perspective, meaning that we'll get there when we get there in divine time because God says so. That was Mars in Pisces. Now that we we're passing that Mars information, execution, movement to Aries. It's about, okay, God set us up. Now we got to go. Mars in Aries says, we're not waiting for anyone. We got the instructions. Let's move. Mars in Aries says, I'm moving for myself so I can be self-efficient, so I can win. And then the back thought is that if I win, everybody wins. Mars in Aries can afford a little bit of a warning. Cuidado. Why? Because Mars is Aries' planet, and Mars deals with anger and confrontation, fighting, right? And when it's in Aries, it feels at home. So it's like, I got a reason to fight. I got a reason to pop off. You in my way? Get out my way. Move. That kind of vibration. But the thing about it is this. Aries energy, again, is the baby. And it can sometimes be motivated and push without thinking, without recognizing the consequences, and feeling like every battle is a viable battle. It's not, y'all. You got to pick your battles in life, because if you fight every battle and every challenge, you'll get worn out. That's just the bottom line. And your knuckles will be bloody and you can't swing any longer. The bottom line with Mars being in Aries is, yes, pop off some things, go in the best light possible to where you need to be, in a positive space, not necessarily fighting everyone and everything that comes in your way. No bueno. Also on Tuesday, it's a lot of things that's going down. While that moon is in Capricorn, it will sextile Neptune in Pisces. I love that. The moon in its ambitious state hooks up with Neptune in its dreamy, imaginative state. Oh, I like that. Why? Because all the imagination that we have, all the artistic inspiration that's coming over us on Tuesday, all of the dreams or possible escapisms or some type of confusion that's coming in is being helped and heralded by the moon in Capricorn to say, don't worry about it. I'm going to make sense of it. Don't worry about it. We're going to utilize our intuition, our imagination, our artistic prompts. Don't worry. The moon in Capricorn says, I'm going to do something with this. I'm going to check off the list. I'm going to make some things happen in the best way possible. At the very least, organize my poems so in about a month or so, I can put this book together. Does that make sense? I hope y'all got that. Also on Tuesday, the moon is sextile Mars. You see how this happens, y'all? That moon is going to be sextile Mars. Before Mars goes into Aries and before the moon goes into Aquarius. The moon in Capricorn was sextile Mars in Pisces. But check this out. This is the last opportunity. The last opportunity for you to put all the things that God said that intuitively you feel that you should execute on in order to pop off. What does that look like? That looks like for the last couple of weeks, if you have been hit intuitively, you should go and get X, Y, and Z done. You should go and get A, B, C done. And you've been kind of waiting on this. On Tuesday, the inspiration comes through to say, listen, Go get those things. Go get the things that we've been thinking about and we've been inspired to do and put it in order. Put it in a place. Tell somebody about it. It is time to get organized and believe in your own dreams. Because once that Mars goes into Aries, we're off and running. So on Tuesday, when that moon finally goes into Aquarius, it will square newly Venus in Taurus. Aquarius and Taurus energy is a little cantankerous, to be quite honest with you. They don't necessarily get along, and they are fixed signs, which means that they put up a little stubborn fight with one another every now and again. So that moon in Aquarius says, I want to feel, I want to express with my friends in a group-like kind of way, with detachments and about humanity. Where Venus in Taurus says, well, no, we need to care a little bit more. We can't be detached. Venus in Taurus says we need to manifest some things. We can't give it all away. So there has to be a balance at the very least on Tuesday about what it is that you are manifesting, what you see as valuable, and the things that you should absolutely hold on for yourself and the things that you should share with the group and with humanity. You can't give away all your coins, y'all. I'm just saying, just watch out for that, all right? On Wednesday, May 1st, the moon will stay in Aquarius. The moon will square off with the sun that day, with the sun being in Taurus. So when you have the moon squaring with the sun, it's always a little gnarly. It's like your emotions and your expressions are going up against your ego and what it is that you want. And again, Aquarius and Taurus always has a little bit of a fixed, stubborn kind of standoff with one another. So the moon in Aquarius says, I want to be fair. I want to be original. I want to be independent. I want to know what I know, no. And it squares up against the sun in Taurus that says, I know you know what you know. And I know you think you're smart and you like to express all of that. But we need to take our time. We need to manifest the things that feel right with us, not necessarily what you know, because what you know may prove to be wrong. Time will tell you what's right. Time will tell you what's right for you. Time will prove your devotion for yourself, for the value of things and people that are around you. It's time. So on Wednesday, when that moon is squaring the sun, do your best to take your time and vet the information that's coming to you or the information that you want to say and put it up against anything that's diligent, anything that you want to be loyal to, anything that you want to be devoted to. You might have to take your time to prove the facts, all right? Don't be so quick thinking that you know everything because you don't know everything. We don't know everything. I'm just saying. On Wednesday, this is going to be an interesting thing because what I just said, you may not agree with on Wednesday. Why? Because the moon in Aquarius is sextile in Mercury in Aries. Aquarius and Aries, they get along. So if that moon in Aquarius is saying, yo, I know what I know in a very arrogant type of way, it seems assured, but there's a slight arrogance to that. Mercury itself and how we communicate and think and plan and strategize is in agreement with Aquarius. It wants to move quickly. It says, yes, the thought is, yeah, I get it. Is this for me? Is this how we're going to do things? Cool. Let's move. Let's take the facts and do what we need to do. Here's what I suggest. Because you don't want to go up against Taurus. Remember, the moon is squaring Taurus and the sun in Taurus is the big dog in the sky. You dig that? So the bottom line is the moon sextile in Mercury thinks it has like a little side deal with Mercury in the way that people are thinking, the way that people are communicating, the way that people are writing, strategizing, planning things. But the sun is like, y'all moving too fast. Don't try to outdupe the sun. Time, being patient is what's going to prove your value in something. Here's my suggestion. With the sun sextile in Mercury, right. Think of some new ways in which you can add to what it is that you're doing without making decisions yet. I hope that makes sense because we need time to make the decision based on the information that's given. You get that? So write it down, collect the information, have conversations. That's how we utilize Mercury and Aries that day when it sextiles the moon. Have conversation, get the information before you make the decision in a very arrogant kind of response. You dig? On Thursday, with the moon still staying in Aquarius, it's all about our friends. You know that when the moon is in Aquarius. So hopefully you will have some good time with a couple of your friends and some social circles. Everybody has been sort of individual for the last year or so. Why? Because the North Node has been in Aries and it's been about you. It's been about you, boo-boo. Some people have been a little arrogant, a little egotistical with it. Some people have been a little healing with it, a little pulled back and retrospective about things. And that is what it is in its own way. However, it's been about us. We've been on the forefront of our minds. So when the moon is in Aquarius, it's a good time to invite your friends, or at the very least group activities or group conversations, to kind of get where everybody else is at without being so detached to them emotionally. Aquarius energy does nothing attached emotionally. Trust. So on Thursday, that moon in Aquarius will square Jupiter in Taurus. We may wake up feeling that day like, where's our prosperity? All the things that I knew, all the information that I had, it's not growing corn. It's not bringing my blessings. It's not bringing the awards that I thought that I would get, or the recognition, the Skittles. That's Jupiter, right? It's not bringing the prosperity. Possibly, maybe. Thursday, you may have that feeling like it's kind of hard. It's a stubborn standoff with my abundance and prosperity and the good feelings versus what the moon is saying to do. The moon in Aquarius says, no, we need to be arrogant. We need to be ourselves. We need to buck the system. If you buck the system, you may not get Jupiter's blessings. That is the message behind that moon squaring Jupiter. Don't buck the system, y'all. Pull back, be detached, be observant and aware. But blessings are blessings for you if you claim them, if you want them, if you include everybody in them, and if you know that there's some things that you just don't know. All right? Release the control, please. Also on Thursday, that moon will slide out of Aquarius and quickly go into Pisces by 2:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when it does, the moon will sextile Venus in Taurus. Intuitively manifest your heart's desire. Be easy on yourself. It's like adding the water to the dirt. That's what I just wrote. So let me elaborate on that. The water being Pisces energy, being that moon, being the emotions. You may have some emotional realizations on that day. You may cry. You may be sensitive, intuitive, slightly psychic to what it is that somebody needs, what they feel, what their value is, what kind of money you need to get. There's a lot of scenarios that can play out with the moon sextile and Venus. But one thing I do want to say is that how we express ourselves, the moon, is in the right alignment with Venus and the manifestation that we want to receive. So if those sensitivities and that intuitive feel from the moon, being the water, is added to the earth, that Venus in Taurus is asking that you politely, gingerly and patiently add your emotions and sensitivity and intuition to the land, to the foundation, to any devoted projects. Easily and assuredly, just keep adding the water of love and compassion and unconditional love. And yes, even tears of joy and sadness to make whatever is valuable to you grow. To make love grow. That's it. Take your time on that day and know that if you are heady or moving too fast, you're missing the mark. You got to feel the things and then they grow. Also on Thursday, Pluto goes retrograde until October 11th. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but check it out. Pluto slowing down gives us a little bit of time. Quite simply, and I'll be talking about this over the next couple of months, but Pluto gives us a little bit of time to really take account of why humanity is going through what it's going through, why power shifts are happening how they're happening, why they are systems that are dying and being reborn in different ways. That oftentimes we have to sit back. When any planet goes retrograde, it's a call to sit back and take account of their power, their meaning, and see how we can readdress it, how we can readjust to fit our lifestyle. You dig? So Pluto's slowing down until October says, hold on to your personal power. Be quiet with it, but also watch what humanity needs and how you can fit in the game of moving forward. Hope that makes sense. On Friday, with that moon in Pisces, it will sextile the sun in Taurus. So again, this is Taurus energy coming in like the big dog, or we should say, the big bull coming through. Remember, bulls don't do too much, again, too hastily. Bulls take their time. When they want to do something, they do it. When they're devoted, they do it. It's that energy is what I'm suggesting the they is. So the moon being in Pisces, sitting right and nice with the sun being in Taurus says, I want to, again, express myself. Put the water to Taurus energy. Put the water to the sun. Put the water to how we're going to shine and how we're going to illuminate. On Friday as well, with that moon being in Pisces, it is going to conjunct Saturn in Pisces as well. This kind of like alley-oops and again sets us up energetically. If the same day the moon is sextiling the sun, saying put some sensitive, loving, unconditional expression on the sun, on Taurus energy for flowers to grow, that moon is getting a little bit of a leg up. A little bit of an alley-oop, an assist from Saturn being in Pisces. Saturn brings the work, at least the desire to work. Saturn brings the desire to build a thing. Saturn says, yes, with the work, here comes the reward. So as long as you are focused on Friday of, again, continually adding the water to your projects, continually adding the care, squirrel. Oftentimes we say to ourselves, why should I beat up a thing with love? Why should I give more compassion and understanding to a thing when nobody is listening? When spirit says, when energy says, it doesn't matter who's listening. It doesn't matter how humans respond oftentimes. With the moon conjuncting Saturn, both in Pisces, it says from an unconditional space, continue to add the water, continue to add the love, continue to add the care. And somehow, somewhere, it's going to grow and it's going to build into a city of hopeful people and situations, and at the very least, opportunities to help you get to the other side of a situation. Hey, you don't need nobody's approval when it comes to doing the things that God told you to work on. Everybody else will finally catch up. And on Friday, here comes a bit of a eureka moment. Ooh, I've been working for God for this. You get a little sneak peek at why you've been so quiet and diligent with spirit's work. You dig? So on Friday, Mars in Aries will sextile Pluto in Aquarius, going retrograde. Know this, that Mars in Aries wants to agitate Pluto in Aquarius going retrograde. It's almost like your puppy, when your puppy wakes you up in the morning, it's like, come on, let's go, I gotta pee. But Pluto, being the transformative planet, the powerful one in the duo, says, I'm waking up slowly, I'm getting up, I'm moving, I'm retro right now. I don't even feel my own personal power in this moment. So be careful on Friday, even though it's a sextile and it's harmony, that Mars in Aries is sort of like an instigator to Pluto going retrograde. Someone may come around and poke the bear, so to speak. Someone may come around and poke the bear in a good way. in a way in which it's saying, please stay in your power, stay in who you are. But if it starts to poke you and you want to respond in a negative way, that's possibly maybe your arrogance, your ego. Be careful about that. And if you get poked, just remember you're God's child. That's all that Mars in Aries wants to do, is remind you you're God's child and we got things to do. So don't slow all the way down. All right? On Saturday, the moon stays in Pisces, but it will go into Aries about 4:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But while it's in Pisces, it's going to conjunct Neptune. Always love when that happens. Saturday's a dreamy day. Go out and play. I mean, get lost in the clouds, literally. Puff on a few clouds, literally. Neptune deals with imagination and drugs and alcoholism, escapism and confusion, but also art and music. So maybe Saturday is a good day to get lost in some music, to make some music, to feel lazy in the best way possible. You want to rest and need to rest? Saturday is a good day to get lost in your imagination and allow your subconscious to do the job in recalibrating your energy. Also on Saturday, with that moon going into Aries in the late afternoon, it will sextile Pluto going retrograde. So you got to assert your power in some kind of way. Remember, Aries is Aries energy getting up against Pluto, whether it is the moon or whether it is Mars. It's just prompting you to stay in the game, cuz it's just prompting you to stay powerful, to stay open to the shifts that are happening around you. And remember the people. Remember your plans. Remember your intellect. Remember the facts. Remember the information. Remember the things that you know. And in due time, you'll have the opportunity to execute them. This is Saturday. Also on Saturday, come on, y'all, when that moon goes into Aries, it's going to conjunct Mars in Aries. So Saturday is a good day to kick off in a dreamy type of way, and then possibly maybe towards the end, you want to go party. You want to go move. You want to go on a nice ride somewhere. Why? Because that moon in Aries brings fire. It brings energy, physical energy, and wants to hook up with Mars in Aries, bringing physical energy. So there's a desire to move, to play, to be a kid, to help the underdog, to help elderly people. Aries energy loves the elderly. Maybe that's a day in which you can go visit your elderly relatives. Whatever you do, make it very, very pointed. Okay? And whatever you do, please stay out of any confrontations, okay? Utilize the physical energy in a way in which you can personally burn it off without projecting it on another. And Sunday, believe it or not, happy Cinco de Mayo to all of those that celebrate. There are no aspects, but that moon will stay in Aries, okay? So please keep your energy up, be self-assured, and know that all the things that you are doing for yourself will absolutely make your relationships better, okay? Okay, now let's pick the card for the week. So, interestingly enough, the card that jumped out today was stress. The reason why I say this is interesting because there's a lot of Aries energy this week. And I need y'all to pay attention, if I didn't convey it properly earlier, to pay attention to that cantankerous Aries energy. It means well, but it moves really, really fast and oftentimes runs into problems which can create stress. How many people do you know just when they were completely overloaded with too many projects and too many balls in the air have suddenly come down with the flu or taken a fall and ended up on crutches? That's just the sort of bad timing the little monkey with the pen in his hand is about to impose on the one-man band pictured here. The quality of stress represented by this card visits all of us at times, but perfectionists are particularly vulnerable to it. We created ourselves with the idea that without us, nothing will happen, especially in the way that we want it to. Well, what makes you think you're so special? Do you think that the sun won't rise in the morning unless you personally set the alarm? Go for a walk. Buy some flowers. Fix yourself a spaghetti dinner. Anything unimportant will do. Just keep yourself out of that monkey's reach. Ashe. I hope this week's message landed deeply in your heart somewhere. That is my prayer. And I hope you stay out of that monkey's reach for sure. Remember, if you want to take part in our Intro to Intuitive Astrology crash course, hit up my website at wordlifeastrology.com at the Word Life Village page, okay? Also, if you're free on Saturday, June 8th, come out and support a sister at the Antaeus Theater in Glendale, California. I can't wait to share with you all. Take care of yourself, all right? And walk lightly this week. A lot of energy is changing up, and we're going to be better for it. I know it. I can smell it. Adios.